so early. It's currently 5:14 in the morning and I'm getting ready to leave for a shoot. I got all my gear here. Got some stuff I gotta pack over here. And we're gonna be hitting the road soon. And I wanna take you guys with me. Gotta stay hydrated. There is actually a reason for this video now, and moving forward I want to be able to include you guys, my audience, into what it is that I actually do for work, and sort of like take you behind the scenes and all that stuff, and just kind of make you part of my journey. And yeah, so I'm pretty terrible at this vlogging kind of thing, but decided I'm gonna give it a try and see how it goes. Got our destination. Still got about 40 minutes to reach our location, and I kind of been thinking sort of like what I wanted to talk about in this video, because I don't want to make things just somehow be like come follow me and look at all the things that I'm doing type of videos. I always want to add a little bit of value or a little bit of information or any little tidbit of thing that I could add to further enrich this whole
There are police reported ahead.
This whole experience that is, you know, creating content and whatnot. So this whole idea of sharing came from obviously when driving to locations and coming back and doing all these things. I have a bunch of thoughts going in my head of things and ideas that I kind of want to push out, and some of them never make it into anything because they're not as large of an idea for me to sort of make a video on them about. And I think that that was a mistake on my part, because thinking that way sort of limits the potential of things that I can share with people and the impact that I can make with this channel and all the things that I want to do with it. You know, one of the things that was happening to me was like, as I was packing my bag for this trip, I had zero issues packing the bag. I knew exactly what camera I wanted to bring. I knew exactly how many lenses I wanted to bring and all that stuff. And that bag pretty much packed its own self, because it's the things that I always pack for any sort of video job, right? But when it came down to choosing what camera I wanted to shoot all this content with, that's when things got a little dicey, because I didn't know what camera I wanted to bring on this trip. I was debating whether I wanted to bring the Action 5 Pro or whether I wanted to bring the 360 camera, the Insta360 X5, or whether I should bring my Osmo Pocket 3 because it has a gimbal. I don't know. Anyways, I couldn't decide which camera I wanted to bring, and it just sort of gave me this thought of like, I bet I'm not the only person wondering what camera is better than the other for sort of like stuff like this. So naturally, I made the choice of bringing all three cameras. So the footage that you've been seeing up until now has been with the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro paired with the DJI Mic Mini. So throughout the video, I'll be sharing footage with the Osmo Action 5 Pro as well as the X5. I'll be trying to share my thoughts and feeling on using each camera for the purposes of creating content like this. So yeah, this is not gonna be like a review on all the technical specs of the cameras, of course, because what I want to do is actually create the content that I want to create by using the cameras, and sort of to give you my perspective and point of view on each. The thing is that I do love both cameras, and they both have their pros and their cons. The Osmo Action 5 Pro has the 10-bit color, the super great connectivity with the microphone that I don't even have to think about, and it's a solid freaking camera. The 360 camera gives me more of a choice in how I want to frame my things and what I want to include and not include in my frame. That's why I was conflicted. Thankfully, both cameras are small. Both cameras don't take any space in the bag and they're not really a burden to carry, so. We are going to a small airport where we will be filming today for some type of aircraft. To be honest, I don't know exactly the plan of the day. The client has been a little inconsistent with providing us a lot of information about this shoot, so that's why I haven't been telling you guys all the details that we are going to do here. I know that we are going to meet up at this airport. We're going to take a look at the airplane. There's a couple of flights that they're going to do that we're going to have to capture in multiple ways, plus a couple of interviews and talking points about, you know, the whole airplane thing. So, pit stop. So I think that for stuff like this, where you obviously want to frame your shots purposefully and have some sort of good frame in front of you, I believe that that's where the Action 5 Pro takes the edge over the 360 camera. It not being 360 and capturing everything, or, you know, not having to resort to using single lens mode on the 360. Just natively, the Action 5 Pro just sort of forces you to take care of your frame, because obviously you don't have the availability of 360 capture. And in turn, that makes filming with the Action 5 Pro a little bit more involved and dedicated. I think that I tend to gravitate towards the 360 camera in moments where I don't know what's going to happen, where things are a little bit uncertain, or I can't worry about the framing all that much because I have to put my mind in something else, whether it's something I'm photographing or something that I'm filming. And that's why for most of my behind the scenes, if you guys have seen my Instagram and all that stuff, most of my behind the scenes are with the 360 camera with the X5, because I've debated whether taking the Action 5 Pro sometimes for, you know, better quality or whatnot, and yeah, it hasn't really been the case. So yeah, I think that for more curated frames, Action 5 Pro wins over the 360. Range anxiety is real. All right, switching to the X5 now. We are at the location, offloading all of our gear so that we can start shooting.
Behind him?
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, no, for sure, yeah. Talk, yeah.
So the shoot's going great. We're out here. As you can see, the plane's right behind me and stuff. Our other plane is somewhere over there in that field, and well, it's about to launch soon, and we're about to get some footage of it flying and whatnot. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's been a cool day. We're on the X5, if you can't tell. No microphone because I don't have a microphone for it. So this thing is a fully electric quadcopter, and it's pretty rad. Florida's hot, bro. It's brutal out here. The X5 is the best choice for right now because obviously I have to pay attention to what I'm doing, which is shooting this aircraft and being mindful of all the people that are doing pre-flight checks and all that stuff. So I can't really be framing my shots all that well, and I have to rely on the 360 abilities of the X5 in order to, you know, get the shots that I need and want. So X5, point for you. So this is kind of like what I meant when I said you can frame stuff up and you know exactly what you're gonna get when you use the Action 5 Pro. Again, functionality-wise, the Insta360 is the easier camera to use. Picture quality-wise, I still think the DJI is better, but I also want to know what you think. So let me know in the comments below, which one do you think is looking better? Is it the DJI or is it the Insta360 X5? And it's not always about picture quality. Sometimes it's also about the angle that you use. And I think that both cameras can give you really cool angles if you work for it. I'm so conflicted as to which one I actually prefer. It's a tough decision, so I think that making this video is part of the reason of me trying to get answers and figuring out which camera is better for me for this type of deal. All right, guys, back in the car, back on the Insta360 X5, just to kind of wrap some things up, some thoughts, wrap the day up actually. Pertaining to my shoot, we had to cut it a little bit short because there was a malfunction with the aircraft and they couldn't fix it. So that was it for the day, unfortunately. So now I have to drive back home another 2 hours, and then don't know if I get to come back or not tomorrow. It was supposed to be a 2-day job, quickly turning into a 1-day job, but you know, these things sort of happen with new technologies and stuff like that. So no hard feelings. It is what it is. I really do want to know what everyone out there thinks about, you know, doing this sort of content with a camera like the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro versus the Insta360 X5. I want to know what the thoughts are and what the better camera is for these types of shoots and content and all that stuff. I'll give you my impressions when I'm dedicating my time to shooting and shooting with purpose. I kind of like the more traditional style of the DJI, but for things that are a little bit out of my control and I don't know where I can put the camera or can't, or I can't be paying attention to it, like in situations like what I was doing today, which I had to focus on my job, I do like the Insta360 X5, but in the end, I think I'm always going to choose both of them and then choose them and then sort of like use them interchangeably depending on what's unfolding in front of me. And that's where I have to leave it. Those are my thoughts. I think both cameras are great, but you know, do let me know what you think in the comments below. Now that I'm driving back home, one thing that I am dreading is having to reframe all of this 360 video in order to make a flat video. When on the DJI, I know exactly what I got and that's it. I don't have to do any extra work, just put it on DaVinci and throw it on a timeline and just make this video. But with the Insta360, I have to go through their software and, you know, reframe the video, yada yada yada, all that stuff. So it's something that obviously sort of slows me down and definitely impacts my decision in how much I film with the Insta360 X5 versus, you know, being more cautious of what I'm filming with it because I have to put it back in the program and reframe the video and do all of that. It's just something to consider. I want to thank you guys for watching my video. Let me know what other things you want to see in this channel pertaining, you know, work and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.